Prime Energy, when it came out, was loaded with over 200 mg of caffeine. To put that into context, each can of Prime contained caffeine equal to 6 cans of Coke, nearly 2 Red Bulls, or more than 3 cups of coffee.
This is basically like a pre-workout drink. I don't even think most pre-workout drinks have that much caffeine in them. And this is honestly really bad. For this note, they said their Prime marketing age range was 12 to 20 year olds, because that's who's going to buy this, is the kids who they've been advertising to this whole time. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the deserved downfall of Prime. If y'all don't know what Prime is, it's basically a sports drink or an energy drink created by the YouTubers Logan Paul and KSI. It's super huge. All the kids drink it. It had a huge explosive launch when it first came out, and they've been expanding the brand ever since they came out. And I guess now they're having a downfall or maybe a drop in sales. So let's get into the video.
What happens when a brand is built on hype and virality and nothing else? Well, in most cases, it turns out like Prime, which went from making $1.2 billion in its first 2 years, having an entire black market category of its own, where it was resold at outrageously inflated prices, to becoming one of the fastest falling brands in the entire food and drink industry, and even getting banned in several countries, including New Zealand and Australia, all because its creators Logan Paul and KSI wanted to take a shortcut to success, and ended up neglecting the one thing that could have maintained Prime's relevance: its quality. A decision that has caused Prime to be linked with causing anxiety, digestive issues, and even heart problems in children. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist.
Yeah, kids shouldn't be drinking sports drinks if they're not working out or let's keep going.
I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the brutal and sudden downfall of Prime, how Logan and KSI were able to turn it into a status symbol among children and teens, why its sales plummeted after just 2 years, what happened when its potentially harmful ingredients started getting exposed, and how that led to Prime getting hit with a number of massive lawsuits back to back. But you know what will stop me from suing you right now? Subscribing. So hit that subscribe button and let's get on with the video. To understand just how big Prime's launch was, it's important to remember that this wasn't just any influencer collab. It was Logan Paul and KSI, 2 YouTubers who had spent years as fierce rivals. Leading up to early 2022, they'd already faced off twice in the boxing ring, and their rivalry was what kickstarted the influencer boxing scene. So when Logan teased an announcement on January 4th, 2022, fans naturally assumed that it was promoting a third and final fight between the two. However, when the day arrived, both of them shocked their audiences by embracing, and then announcing that they had come together to form a business partnership.
And we're coming together, yes, to announce possibly the biggest thing, the biggest business we'll ever build.
We have created our own drink company. Yes!
Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Hydration.
The sheer unexpected nature.
This is honestly a good idea though. Building up, they had during this time period, these two had so much hype behind each other where they were able to do these boxing matches. The whole internet was watching them. All the little kids were watching Logan Paul and KSI. The beef was the biggest thing on the internet at the time. So capitalizing it on this way after doing the boxing matches was just freaking genius.
Prime Hydration.
The sheer unexpected nature of this announcement made the livestream go viral, allowing it to get 540,000 concurrent viewers at one point. However, there were still plenty of doubts that it could ever succeed. Prime was going to be up against some of the most iconic hydration drinks in the world, like Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor. So it would have to bring something unique to the table to be able to compete. And as it turned out, Prime did have something none of the others did: hype, virality, and an impressionable audience.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, the packaging is fire. Whoever did the branding on the packaging for Prime bottles, geniuses.
products. The bottle itself looked like a giant advert for YouTube, with its all caps YouTube style text and bright colors, specifically designed to appeal to the demographic that both Logan and KSI had built their career on, the 12 to 20-year-olds, enabling them to play to their strengths. And the results spoke for themselves, because just hours after the live stream, Logan announced on Twitter that the first drop had been sold out entirely. For the rest of January, that same pattern continued, with Logan and KSI adopting a Supreme-esque approach to selling Prime, unveiling special limited time drops that were only available through Prime's official website, all while driving up the hype even more with consecutive Instagram posts from Logan in particular that ended up going viral. The first was this post on January 19, where Logan could be seen feeding Prime to his friend Johnny DeJulius before he fell out of a helicopter for a base jump. The very next day, Logan also posted a video to his YouTube channel titled KSI and Logan Paul Go Undercover at Walmart, where both of them revealed that Prime had been released in 4,500 Walmart stores across the United States.
To celebrate Prime Hydration being released in 4,500 Walmarts across America,
we are undercover as Prime Hydration employees.
I don't think y'all understand how big of a deal this is. This is a giant meteoric rise for this brand. Like, Prime getting put into stores like Walmart, it's when you're getting a product and you're trying to get it into major grocery stores, it's extremely hard. All the companies are fighting for shelf space. The grocery store size doesn't change. The shelf size doesn't change. You have to literally be competitive and have smart team members to get your product into these stores. So for them being able to do this, especially so early on in their journey, is monumental.
After successfully building hype on both YouTube and Instagram, Logan took to promoting on TikTok as well, posting a video of him being stranded on a desert island with a fake beard and orange tan. This alone ended up getting over 10 million views. KSI had his own marketing machine. Not only did he constantly feature Prime on his own channel, but it also became a regular part of his friends, Mini Minter and W2S's channel, both of whom managed to get over 4.5 million views on their respective videos promoting Prime. However, as successful as these marketing stunts were, the real masterclass came in how Prime was distributed. Because while Prime already had insane demand, they didn't try to meet it right away. Instead, they kept supply intentionally tight, creating artificial scarcity, turning Prime into something that felt exclusive and not just another drink.
I remember when this first came out, I had a business where I was selling products on Amazon at the time, and one of the best things to sell was literally Prime. And it's crazy because selling drinks on Amazon, because you have to pay for shipping and stuff, selling bottles of stuff, of drinks, was extremely difficult because shipping costs were so high, but you were still able to make an insane profit margin on Prime just because of how high the demand was. You could mark it up crazy. I ran up a bag off of it, just to say.
During its online-only phase, the limited availability of Prime kept fans rushing to buy bottles immediately as they became available, and even encouraged resale at absurdly high prices that kept the hype train going, forcing even KSI to...
Look at it. $39.99 for delivery. Shipping liquids is very heavy. So just to prove what I was talking about.
Step in and ask people to stop.
Brother, my man is selling one and the current bid is 16 quid. What? This is wild. £500 for what? Two? £500 for two of the limited edition Prada! Nah, this is stupid.
Even when they shifted to selling through big retailers in the US like Walmart, Target, and GNC, the stock provided was kept intentionally low, so it sold out quicker, resulting in several people not being able to find Prime in their local stores, highlighted by this comment on one of Logan's posts that reads, "Why is it that the stores where I live in Kentucky having such a hard time getting Prime? I absolutely love it, but I can't find it anywhere." The same happened when Prime Prime was first released in the UK with big supermarkets like ASDA and Aldi, which led to even the mainstream news picking up on the insane buying frenzy, highlighting the insanely long queues of fans waiting to get their hands on a bottle. This also triggered the creation of an entire black market category for Prime, with scalpers reselling bottles at insanely inflated prices, resulting in Logan and KSI having to work with retailers to implement strict rules for Prime shoppers, which naturally drove up demand even more. And then came the special flavors.
Strict rules. I'm assuming they mean like when you go to purchase, kind of like when you go to buy water when there's a hurricane or a natural disaster coming. Basically, there's a limit on how many you can purchase when you go to the store. So you go to Walmart, you try to buy 50 or all the cases of Prime because you know you can resell it. They would limit you when you would try to go to the register.
Like KSI's The Nightmare and Glowberry, these flavors that were only made available on special occasions for a limited time, and ended up selling out even faster than the original flavors. All these hype tactics turned Prime from just another hydration beverage to a status symbol among teens and young adults, many of whom actually decorated their own rooms with empty bottles as proud members of the Prime community.
This is literally like the brand Supreme. Like, I don't know if y'all know what Supreme is. Most people do. Just a hypebeast brand. This was the drink Supreme.
Thus, thanks to its incredible popularity, in 2022, Prime was able to generate $250 million in revenue across both the US and the UK, while in 2023 they managed to top even that by generating a whopping $1.2 billion in bottle sales alone. There was no doubt that the launch had been incredibly successful, and now that Prime had gained a solid foothold in the very competitive beverage market, it was time to go all in, and that meant high-profile sponsorships. It started with Prime sponsoring football clubs like Arsenal and FC Barcelona, while also recruiting stars like Erling Haaland as brand ambassadors. However, their biggest move had to be when they became the official sports drink for both the UFC and
I think he was about to say WWE, but it cut.
Even KSI got into the act, taking an RKO from Randy Orton in a segment that went viral. These big moves indicated just how confident KSI and Logan were in their brand, leading to them even establishing a contract with major bottle manufacturing brands like Refresco to satisfy the consistent demand that they were expecting for the next few years. In fact, Logan even mentioned on his Impulsive podcast that he was expecting either Pepsi or Coca-Cola to buy him out.
Inshallah, things go the right way. We're headed one direction, and that direction is to become the legacy brand that
This man said inshallah.
will be taking a massive chunk of the market.
Which would bring him within touching distance of his goal to become a billionaire.
When do you guys just say fuck it?
The honest answer? When we both hit that B.
I'm out this bitch when I hit that B.
I'm out.
And you're gonna see it unhinged, unfiltered.
However, before Logan or KSI could actually savor their success, Prime stock started going down just as quickly as it came up, and it was all because of one major factor that both of them had chosen to ignore: the poor quality of the drink itself. But what's often a key factor in business downfalls is accounting. This ended up being exposed even harder once Prime started making it into the mainstream, with several high-profile celebrities like Gordon Ramsay publicly rejecting the drink.
Give it
See
a
what you
review.
think of Prime. Okay, so smells a bit high. What is that flavour you got there?
Tropical punch, it says.
Oh, Jesus.
Loosely. You've just
Like-
come from the Maldives. How
It's
tropical is
like
that?
swallowing perfume.
He said it's like swallowing perfume. I'm not gonna lie. I've had Prime before, and it didn't taste good. It tasted like the most artificial candy. Like, if you've ever had, like, it's not like gummy bears, nothing like that. It's literally tastes like chemicals to me. No, not trying to get sued by Prime or anything, but it didn't taste good to me. I didn't like it personally. I tried it a couple times. I got to give it a fair try. I didn't like it at all.
What is that?
Even some popular streamers that decided to taste it on stream gave it horrible reviews, calling out its awful, overly sugary and chemically taste. People like XQC,
I tried Prime unbiased, okay?
unbiased at all, and I hated all of them. None of them taste like the taste that it says on it. Not even close to it. It feels like it's like a non-tasting whatever with an aftertaste. And the one that's like more daring in intensity is like the green one. Dude, we almost puked in the locker room.
Aiden.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. It literally tastes like chemicals, bro.
Ross.
I don't get paid at all from Prime. I need to be. Huh. Nah, they don't need to pay me. This is called Sour Flare. These are the same ones. Oh, there's two. Which one do you guys want me to try? Horrible. Horrible. Dog.
Speed.
This is the new hydration Prime drink. It's supposed to be sour. Let's give it a little taste, you know what I'm saying?
And Kaiser Nat.
Prime lemonade. I'll keep it 100 with y'all. I drink lemonade almost every single day. I have pink lemonade on my desk. I am a lemonade god.
Which might
I knew he was about to say that ass. That's why I paused it. My bad, y'all. I knew he was about to say ass.
popularity more than someone like Gordon Ramsay rejecting it, since their audiences were quite similar in age and interests to Prime's main audience. Meanwhile, proven sports drinks like Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor started making their way back up again. Another huge misstep Logan and KSI took was introducing Prime Energy as a companion to Prime Hydration in mid-2023.
Prime has now launched a new product, Prime Energy. If you want energy now, drink Prime. It's better for you.
Not only because they were forcing themselves into another saturated market dominated by massive names like Red Bull and Monster, but this new product raised even more concerns than Prime Hydration, with most of them centered around the health problems caused by its excessive caffeine content. Prime Energy, when it came out, was loaded with over 200 mg of caffeine. To put that into context, each can of Prime contained caffeine equal to 6 cans of Coke, nearly 2 Red Bulls, or more than 3 cups of coffee.
This is basically like a pre-workout drink. I don't even think most pre-workout drinks have that much caffeine in them. And this is honestly really bad. For this note, they said their Prime marketing age range was 12 to 20 year olds, because that's who's gonna buy this, is the kids who they've been advertising to this whole time. This is a recipe for disaster and lawsuits.
According to doctors and pediatricians, this amount of caffeine can cause heart problems, anxiety, and digestive issues, especially in the children and teens that it was being marketed towards. This eventually resulted in an uproar from parents, teachers, and doctors calling Prime Energy out for being incredibly harmful towards their kids. It even got banned completely in New Zealand and the majority of schools in Australia.
As they should.
Even in the US, there were calls for the FDA to get involved and investigate the contents of the energy drink. However, what hurt Prime more than any of this was the gradual loss of the audience that put it on the map in the first place. By this point, it was pretty clear. Logan and KSI's hype tactics only worked because most of their audience was made up of kids and teenagers. However, after Prime had been in stores for over 2 years, the novelty wore off. The idea of 2 massive influencers teaming up just wasn't as exciting anymore.
This happens with anything that's overhyped, where when it comes out, there's a huge, massive increase when it comes out, and then there has to be a gradual die-off after the hype sort of dies down. Logan Paul loses a little bit of his clout. KSI loses a little bit of his clout. I've never seen a KSI video, and I haven't seen any KSI clips or anything like that come into my feed at all for like the last 2 years. So it only makes sense that after this meteoric rise, that they have to have a drop. Now, how far that drop comes, I personally think, comes from the quality of the product. If the product can maintain a decent level.
Especially to the Gen Z and Gen A kids who are known for hopping from one trend to the next. And so naturally, the hype started to fade. The only thing that could have kept Prime on top after that point was its quality. And since that was severely lacking, the number of repeat customers for the brand declined rapidly. This inevitability resulted in the supply catching up to the demand, especially because of the huge manufacturing contracts Prime had signed. By mid-2024, Prime Prime was available in all major retailers across the US and UK and displayed on most prominent shelves, but there were very few people willing to buy it. The athletes that usually brought sports drinks still preferred Gatorade or Powerade over Prime, and as a result of all those factors combining, sales in both the US and UK fell astronomically, with them dropping by 70% in the UK in 2024 compared to 2023, causing a 92% drop in profit from the previous year as well. As for the US, sales dropped by 40% by just mid-2024, leaving the Prime team with no choice but to go into strategic review mode to transition into a more sustainable long-term presence in the market. However, before they could come up with a new strategy, Prime was hit with news that would make things so much worse. Because 2024 wasn't just a rough year for Prime on store shelves, it was also a disastrous one in court. The lawsuits started piling up quick.
Told y'all, when you're making stuff like this with all these chemicals, all this caffeine, things like that, lawsuits are guaranteed to come in, bro. You're hurting people directly.
Chipping away at the brand's image even further. It all began in August 2023, when a woman named Elizabeth Castillo filed a class action lawsuit against Prime Hydration. According to the suit, independent chemical testing found that Prime's grape flavor contained PFAs, also known as forever chemicals, which was misleading at best and a serious health concern at worst. Because when Prime Hydration first came out, it was marketed as having zero caffeine and all clean ingredients.
So between the hydration and the better for you ingredients, in our opinion, allegedly, it's a no-brainer. Prime is a better hydration option.
Down in March 2024, they allegedly backed out of their contract and even refused to participate in a final test run of the new production line, which allegedly left the manufacturing giant in a huge deficit of tens of millions of dollars, forcing them to file a lawsuit in August 2024, which is still ongoing. Prime did file a motion to dismiss all of the charges. However, except from the judge dropping one minor count, most of the major claims are still moving forward to the next stage. Prime supplier issues don't end there either, as they were hit with another lawsuit around the same time frame by Agravana for $13 million for yet another breach of contract. Agravana alleged that Prime owes them tens of millions of dollars in unpaid ingredient bills, and accused them of taking deliveries, then rejecting them or refusing to pay them for no real reason. And if all of that wasn't enough, even Prime's marketing team found themselves in legal trouble, because in July 2024, they were also hit with a suit by the US Olympic and Paralympic Committee for using several unauthorized phrases in their promotional campaigns. These included phrases like Team USA, Olympian, and Olympics, along with several other Olympic-themed trademarks. The suit was eventually settled somewhere in the millions, but the damage to Prime's reputation was worse. Logan Paul did try to do some damage control by creating a video touring Prime's production facilities, where he took viewers through their apparently thorough quality control process, but by then it was already too late. Now in 2025, because of all of the lawsuits, health concerns, and lack of quality, Prime has been pulled from several stores across the US and UK, and wherever it is still available, it's usually in the clearance rack selling for incredibly low prices. As a commenter on YouTube puts it, "It's hilarious to hear about the Prime craze when everyone wanted it and no one could find it. Now they're giving it away, lol. My grocery store literally has cases of the stuff selling for $1.
Yeah, see, I was talking about, where there's a meteoric rise and it should just be like a nice little settle off where it reaches a little midpoint, a drop in over 40% in sales, plus going to the clearance racks. Yeah, no, this is a straight up quality issue and just an overall failure as a brand.
The end of the day, Prime was doomed to fail from the get-go, because it was a brand built on hype and not innovation. It tried to cheat the fundamentals, but once the hype died down, the product itself just wasn't good enough.
And to make it even worse, they lied about the innovation. They said it's better ingredients and all this stuff, and they made something new. not even the case.
Even if you ignore all the chemicals and the excess caffeine that people claim it has, it just wasn't up to standards set by industry giants like Gatorade, Powerade, and Body Armor. That said, both KSI and Logan Paul likely won't be too affected by Prime's downfall, at least financially, since they've already made their millions. However, their reputation has already taken a serious hit because of it, and it will continue downward if Prime really is as harmful as people claim it to be.
Alright, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. Do y'all like Prime? Have y'all tried it before? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do like it, let me know what your favorite flavor is. Catch you guys later.